Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today we are doing a feel-good flow. We're going to be playing around with our transitions and moving in ways that we don't normally move in to get to our more regular poses. Now roll out your mats and let's hop into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. For today's practice, we are going to begin in our tabletop, bringing wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. With an in-breath, we'll reach the chest forward, taking the eyes up, the tailbone up, and we'll drop the stomach to the floor. With our exhale, we'll press down into the fingertips to arch up through the mid-back and shoulders, tucking chin to chest and tailbone under. We'll move back and forth with our breath. Inhale to lift, exhale to curl. Coming back through our tabletop, we're going to extend our left leg back and drop the toes to the floor. We're going to find a forward and back shift to the body, pressing back through the heel and shifting forward, stretching up the backs of the legs and the bottoms of the feet. Picking up that left leg, we'll rainbow it over to our right side, dropping the toes down, and then we'll look over the right shoulder back at that left leg. Taking chest forward again, we'll extend the left leg back, pressing back with the heel. Now we can stay here with both hands on the floor if we'd like, or we can reach our right arm out in front. Now again, we can stay here with our arm and leg reaching forward and back, or we can find a little bit more movement. Moving arm out to our right side, foot out to our left. We'll come back through center, reaching forward and back. Out to our side and back in, trying to keep hand and leg lifted as we rotate to the side and back in. I'll do one more, reaching out wide and coming back in. We're going to bend our left leg so we can reach our toes up to the ceiling or up towards our head. Exhale, we'll circle our right arm around and grab for our foot or our ankle. Now pressing foot into hand, hand into foot to find a variation for our dancer pose. We'll slowly let go of the foot, drop our right hand down to the mat. We're going to circle our left leg around to the top of our mat. Heel toe it in towards center and find a low lunge. Press the hips forward and we'll lift the chest up. Now we can keep the hands down on the floor if we'd like, or we can reach the arms up to the ceiling. With our next exhale, we'll press down through the left foot, hinging at the waist, half splits. We can either reach the arms out forward, in front, or up to the toes, or we could circle the arms back to our right leg. Walking the hands forward if they're back behind us. We'll bring both hands to the inside of our left foot. Pressing down through the left hand, inhale, right arm will reach up. With an inhale, we'll float the body open to our right side. Taking arms forward and up to the ceiling, we'll shift back onto our right leg. And from here, we can lift the left, or we can scoot the left in and bring it down beside the right. Back to our tabletop. And some cat-cows. Reaching the chest forward. Exhale to curl into center. This time maybe adding a little bit more of a movement to our cat-cows by really pressing the hips back to the heels as we curl under and shining the chest forward through the hands as we lift up. And back through our tabletop again. We'll extend our right leg back behind, drop the toes straight down. Forward and back. As we shift back, we're pressing the heel behind us, keeping the toes down. So we're moving the bottom of the foot as we shift. Picking up our right leg, we'll rainbow it over to the left side of the mat. Drop the toes down. Now look over the left shoulder, back at those right toes. We'll bring that right leg back around, pressing back through the heel. Now we can lift up our left arm and reach it out in front and find a balance. Now if we'd like to add that bit more of movement, we'll reach the arm and leg out to our sides. Coming back, reaching forward and back. Taking left arm to the left side, right leg to the right side, and back through center. And we'll do one more. Going back to center, we'll bend at the knee, taking those right toes up to the head or up to the ceiling. Circle the left arm back and around, grab for the foot or for the ankle, and we'll press foot into hand, hand into foot. Slowly releasing the added pressure, dropping the left hand back down at the top of the mat, and we'll circle the right leg up. Heel toe that foot into center. Shift the hips forward, low lunge. And again, we can keep the hands down on the floor, or we can lift the chest forward and the arms up. We'll press down through our right foot, half splits, hinging from the waist. walking the hands forward. And we'll bring them both to the inside of our right leg, planting our right hand down. Inhale, left arm will reach up to the ceiling. And we're going to lift the entirety of the upper body, open to our left side. Turning the chest forward, arms will reach up. We'll shift back into our left leg so that we can pick up our right and bring it down beside the left. Soften the arms to our sides. Now we're going to hinge from the waist to drop the hips down. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, try tucking the toes under or putting the toes on top of a block or a blanket to give us a little bit more space. But with our exhale, we're going to drop the hips to the heels. Inhale to lift the hips up. Back and forth. As we strengthen through our quads and the fronts of our legs. Good. With our next inhale, popping us back up again on our knees. This time we are not going to hinge at the waist. We are going to be like a board from the knees all the way up to the shoulders. Engage the core. Pull ribs and hip bones a little bit closer together. And with our exhale, we're going to shift our whole upper body back behind. Inhale to pop us forward. So again, only going back as far as we can pop ourselves back up. And it can be helpful to have those toes tucked so you have something to push into to pop us back up. Shifting forward again, we're going to drop our hands down in front of our knees to rock us back onto the fronts of our feet. So we can stay balanced here. Or we could find a forward and back shift, dropping those hands down in front of the knees, rocking back, shifting forward, drop the knees down to tap. Press up and back. Good. Shifting back onto our feet, and we're going to make our way from standing from here. Press down in through the feet to lift us up, and then we'll drop the heels down. Wiggling out. And to our mountain pose, bringing ankles under knees, under hips with an inhale. We'll reach the arms up tall. Exhale, hinging from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Nodding the head, yes. And shaking the head, no. Releasing out the upper body. We'll drop the hands straight down to the floor and the top of the head down as well, tucking chin to chest. We'll slowly ragdoll our way to standing. One vertebrae up past the next. Really take your time to notice the roll up the back. Keeping head and hands down as long as we can to roll up through the shoulders. And then lifting head and shoulders up. And we'll roll them back a few times. Making our way to the top of the mat if we're not already there. And then taking a little step back from the top. So there should be enough space between our feet and the top of the mat that we can drop our hands down and press into them. With our in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Putting as much bend to the knees as we need to drop the hands down on the floor in front of us. We're going to move our right hand into center so we have a tripod between our feet and our hands. With an inhale, we'll circle our left arm up to the ceiling and shift our weight into the left leg by pressing down on the heel. Now this can be a pretty big move as we pick up the right leg and press it back behind us. With an inhale, we'll lift the chest and find a rotated warrior one, open to our left side, reaching front and back of our mat. Now our left hand, we'll drop it to our right leg or wrap it around our back to reach the right arm up and over. Cartwheel the right hand around, bringing the left arm with it. Drop both hands down to the floor. We'll pick up our left leg, press it up and back behind us. We'll drop the side of our right foot down to the floor as we continue the circle, bringing the left leg back behind. Fallen angel. Pressing hips up to the ceiling and reaching up and over towards the top of our mat. We'll circle the left arm back around and drop it at the top of the mat. Up and back, three-legged dog to our down dog. Pedal out the legs, wiggle out the hips. We'll put quite a bit of bend to the knees and hop our way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan, diving the arms up to the ceiling we go. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, putting as much of a bend to the knees as we need to drop the hands down to the floor. We'll move our left hand into center. With a big breath in, reach the right arm up. And we'll press down through the right leg. Now, pretty big move here. Moving into the right, extending the left, stepping the left leg down. Inhale, lift the chest. Rotated warrior one. We're open to our right side. Now we'll drop our right hand down to our left leg or around behind our back. Left arm will reach up and over to the back of our mat. We'll cartwheel the arms, bringing them around and down to the floor. We'll pick up our right leg, lift it up and over the body, drop the side of the left foot down, reach right arm up as we drop the right toes to the floor. Reach the hips up to the ceiling, and the right hand up and over to the top of our mat, fallen angel. We'll cartwheel around again, pressing the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, to to our down dog. And we'll wiggle out here. Extending our left leg back behind. We're going to rotate it around and bring it up to the outside of our left hand, to the outside of that left side of our mat. Lizard pose. Now we can always drop the right knee down if we'd like, or we can keep it up. And we can find a forward and back shift, or we can find peace and stillness here as we soften the hips. We're going to drop to the outside edge of our right foot. We can pick up the left big toe, find our balance, and press it back side plank. And drop the left hand back and around to the top of the mat, hips up and back, down dog. And we'll reach our right leg up and back behind, three-legged dog. Rotating that right leg around to the outside of our mat and stepping it down. Lizard pose on this side. Again, we can always drop our left leg down or we can keep it up. We'll drop to the outside edge of our left foot, and we can hook our right big toe, picking it up, pressing it back, and a side plank. Circle back through center, hips up and back, down dog. We'll drop the knees to the mat. Press the hips back, child's pose. With our inhale, we'll start lifting the chest up by bringing hands into knees. And we'll take a moment to sit on the heels. We'll drop our left hand down to our side, reaching our right arm up and over, side stretch. Cartwheeling, dropping right arm down, reaching left up and over. And back through center. We'll pause here. Closing the eyes. And taking a few big breaths in and back out. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It's always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.